Daniel 3 does not read like a distant story. It reads like a promise forged in fire. It speaks to those moments when obedience costs something, when standing firm feels isolating, and when faith seems to lead not away from difficulty, but straight into it. When King Nebuchadnezzar commanded the people to bow down before the golden image, three men refused, not out of defiance for its own sake, but out of devotion to the Most High living God. Their response remains one of the clearest expressions of unwavering faith in Scripture. God is not only able to deliver, but even if He does not, they would not bow down. This is faith rooted not in outcomes, but in the character of God Himself. Yet their obedience did not spare them from the fire. The furnace was heated beyond reason, the threat was real, and they were thrown into it without compromise. This confronts a common but incomplete understanding of faith, that if we follow God, He's going to shield us from hardship. In reality, Scripture consistently reveals that faithfulness often leads us directly into the places of testing, not away from them. There is a moment in every life when the question arises, sometimes quietly, sometimes with urgency. If God is with me, why am I here? Daniel 3 does not avoid that question. It answers it with profound clarity. As Nebuchadnezzar looked into the flames, he saw something he could not explain. There were not three men, but four, and they were walking around unbound in the midst of the fire, completely unharmed. God had not remained distant. He had entered the fire with them. This is the central truth of the passage. The miracle is not that they avoided the fire, but that they were not alone in it. The presence of God transformed the place of destruction into a place of revelation. The fire did not consume them. It became the setting where His nearness was most fully displayed. When they emerged, the evidence was unmistakable. They were untouched. No burns, no damage, not even the smell of smoke. But something deeper had occurred. They went into the fire bound, and they came out free. That was what was intended to destroy them instead stripped away what had held them. This is often the hidden work of God in suffering. He does not waste the fire. He's redeeming it, folks. It feels like loss may actually be liberation at a deeper level. As lesser securities are burned away, what is eternity will be revealed. This account is not just historical, it's deeply personal. Every believer finds themselves in circumstances they would not have chosen, yet remains committed to God within them. The promise of Scripture is that there will be, not that there will be no fire, but that God will be present within that fire. In His presence, fear loses authority, bondage loses its grips, and what was meant for harm becomes a testimony of His sustaining power. If you find yourself in a fire, the question is not whether God has abandoned you, but whether you will recognize Him there in the presence. He is nearer than you think, walking with you in the very place you thought you'd be alone. Call Dan Cross for counseling appointment at 918-844-4148 or get my books on Amazon, Fully Christ, Thorn in My Flesh, and Rewired for Joy.
Call Dan Cross 918-844-4148.